Summer's calling, and shackshop.us has you covered. Dive into hot sales on lady swimsuits, sleek, stylish, and perfect for pool or beach. Stay connected and on trend with smartwatches that track your every move. Explore the depths with underwater drones and reach new heights with our flying drones. Adventure starts here. Hurry, these deals won't last. Shop now at shackshop.us and make this season unforgettable. Shackshop.us, where adventure meets style.
The disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie continues to raise urgent questions as investigators intensify their efforts to uncover what happened in the quiet, upscale community of Catalina Foothills, just north of Tucson, Arizona. Weeks after she vanished under troubling circumstances, authorities are now examining new reports of suspicious activity in the neighborhood surrounding her home, signaling that the case remains active and evolving. Officials with the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed that detectives assigned to the case are reviewing any and all unusual activity reported in the area. While investigators have not disclosed whether these reports are connected to a specific suspect or group, they emphasized that no lead is being dismissed at this stage. A department spokesperson stated that law enforcement is carefully analyzing any information that could shed light on the case, including tips from residents and observations tied to nearby properties. Among the developments drawing attention is a reportedly vacant home in the vicinity, where neighbors have claimed unusual behavior was observed. Authorities, however, have not confirmed whether this location is directly tied to the investigation. Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, the longtime co-anchor of NBC's morning program Today. Since her mother's disappearance, Savannah has maintained a low public profile, focusing on her family while law enforcement continues its search for answers. The timeline of events remains one of the most critical aspects of the investigation. Nancy Guthrie was last seen on the evening of January 31, 2026. After spending time out for dinner, she returned home around 10 p.m., reportedly dropped off by her son-in-law. At that point, nothing appeared out of the ordinary. However, in the early hours of February 1st, the situation took a troubling turn. Surveillance footage from her home captured images of a masked individual approaching her front door. The figure's identity remains unknown, and investigators have yet to determine whether this person acted alone or as part of a larger plan. Authorities believe the individual seen on the footage may be connected to Guthrie's disappearance, though no arrests have been made. Despite reviewing multiple angles and enhancing the available footage, investigators say they have not obtained any clearer or additional images that could help identify the suspect. The case has also drawn attention due to the use of technology in narrowing down the timeline. Around 2:30 a.m., Guthrie's pacemaker transmitted its last recorded signal to her connected Apple devices. This timestamp is considered significant by investigators, as it may indicate when she was removed from her home or when something disrupted her normal routine. Inside the residence, authorities recovered both her iPhone and Apple Watch, suggesting she did not leave voluntarily. This detail has reinforced the working theory that she may have been taken against her will. According to Chris Nanos, the sheriff leading the investigation, law enforcement is treating the case as a suspected abduction. He has stated that the available evidence points towards foul play, though officials continue to avoid drawing definitive conclusions publicly. As part of the investigation, detectives have also followed up on Guthrie's activities earlier that evening. She had reportedly used an Uber to travel to dinner, and authorities interviewed the driver shortly after the case began. Officials confirmed that the driver has not been identified as a suspect or person of interest. Recent speculation suggested that additional video footage from that ride might have surfaced. However, the sheriff's department clarified that they have not confirmed the existence of any new recordings tied to that portion of the timeline. Meanwhile, forensic efforts continue behind the scenes. DNA analysis is ongoing, with specialists working to process evidence collected from the home and surrounding areas. While results have not yet been publicly disclosed, officials say these efforts are a key component of the investigation and may ultimately provide crucial answers. Search efforts have remained steady, with law enforcement coordinating with federal agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI has been assisting in analyzing evidence, tracking leads, and providing additional resources to support the local investigation. Community members in Catalina Foothills have expressed growing concern as the case stretches on without resolution. The neighborhood, known for its quiet streets and scenic desert surroundings, has been shaken by the unsettling nature of the disappearance. Neighbors have reported increased police presence in the area, along with periodic searches and follow-up interviews.
Investigators have encouraged residents to remain vigilant and to report any unusual, no matter how minor it may seem. Family members of Nancy Guthrie have also remained involved, often visiting her home and maintaining hope that she will be found. In early March, relatives were seen gathering at the residence, leaving flowers and speaking briefly with authorities. The emotional toll on the family has been evident, though they have largely stayed out of the public spotlight. Their focus, according to those close to them, has been on supporting the investigation and preserving Nancy's memory. Authorities have emphasized that time remains a critical factor in the case. While more than 6 weeks have passed since Guthrie was last seen, investigators continue to pursue new leads and re-examine existing evidence. One of the most pressing questions remains whether the masked individual captured on camera had prior knowledge of the home or its occupant. Detectives are exploring the possibility that the suspect may have been familiar with the neighborhood or even specifically targeted Guthrie. Another unresolved issue is whether anyone else may have been involved. Law enforcement has not ruled out the possibility of multiple individuals playing a role in the disappearance, though no concrete evidence has been presented publicly to support that theory. The case has also drawn attention due to Savannah Guthrie's public profile. Media coverage has remained steady, with updates closely followed by audiences across the country. Despite the high level of attention, investigators have remained cautious about releasing details, citing the need to protect the integrity of the case. Officials have repeatedly stated that certain information is being withheld to avoid compromising potential breakthroughs. In an effort to generate new leads, authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. A tip line has been established, and calls can be made anonymously. To further encourage cooperation from the public, a combined reward exceeding $1.2 million has been offered for information that leads to a breakthrough in the case. Officials hope that this substantial incentive will prompt someone with knowledge of the incident to step forward. Law enforcement has stressed that even the smallest detail could prove critical. Investigators are particularly interested in hearing from anyone who may have been in the Catalina Foothills area during the late-night hours of January 31 into February 1st. As the investigation continues, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie remains an open and deeply concerning case. Each new development, whether it involves forensic analysis, witness reports, or surveillance footage, brings investigators one step closer to understanding what happened. For now, the focus remains on following every possible lead, supporting the family, and ultimately finding answers.